You know, the more I think about it, the more it blows my mind. Hi, I'm Gina with Hope and Cope. This is my Serenity Blueprint Bible Study. I developed this blueprint through my relationship with God during the years of my husband's addiction. I have an acronym for this Bible study. It's called CALM, and it stands for controlling our thoughts, accepting reality, look to God, and maximize mercy. So what blows my mind is, even though I read it for myself in the Bible, how Joseph was able to accept the terrible reality that he was in during those years that he was a slave and those years that he was imprisoned. It just seems impossible. But we do know the Bible tells us that God was with Joseph, and I do believe that God comforted Joseph, but it's just very not human to accept terrible and tragic realities. So I went over the story a little bit last week. I'm just going to give a real quick overview. So Joseph was one of his father's most beloved children, he and Benjamin. His dad played favorites, which was terrible. His mother had passed away. She died giving childbirth to Benjamin. And because he was a favorite, and because he had these dreams that he was going to rule and reign, and over his family specifically, his brothers hated him. And so it's a long story, and I want you to read it for yourself. But his brothers sold him into slavery. And then as a slave, he was thrown into prison. He was accused of something he did not do. And he really was a man of high integrity. Even though he was young and he was handsome, he still was a man of high integrity and was framed for something he didn't do. It was a terrible story. You should read it for yourself. Super exciting. But he controlled his thoughts. We talked about that last week. But accepting your situation, it's so hard to accept your situation, where you are and why you're there. And especially when we feel like we haven't done anything to deserve it. I feel like it's hard to accept when we're like, yep, that was dumb. Yep, I should not have done that. Yep, I'm sitting here on the side of the road because I didn't get gas yesterday when I was right there by the gas station. That sort of thing. But when we are in a horrible situation, the worst we can imagine, and we did nothing to be there. And I know it happens all the time. A tragic accident that's not of your making, or, this dreaded disease, or, you think you're in this beautiful relationship and someone abandons you. These are horrible, horrible situations that's so painful to accept. And why am I here? And why did this happen? And God, why did you let this happen? And it's just so hard to accept reality when it's so tragic and so painful. So this week, I want you to try to not prejudge situations you're in. I mean, Joseph was in bondage. I think he was 17 when he was sold into bondage, and I think he was 30 when he became second in command in Egypt over all the land. So for many, many years of his young life, Joseph was a slave or in prison and wrongly, terribly treated. But I want you to try not to prejudge your situations. Try not to determine that something is tragic. Let things play out. Give God room to show up and to change the situation and to make something beautiful out of something tragic. Don't just presume despair. Always have hope. Hope that no matter where you are not beyond the reach of God. You are not beyond God being able to redeem that story, redeem that tragedy, and bring something beautiful, something meaningful, something valuable to you and through you and for others through the tragedies that you have. I hope this was helpful. Just like every video I make, I hope it's helpful. In the description box, if you'll take a second, go there. You have a song and a Bible verse. And if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and share it with a friend. I want you to know I'm putting out content twice a week, so be looking for that. And I love you. I'm always praying for you. God bless.